Hello my friends, welcome back to your mat and welcome to today's gentle yoga class. This class is something that I have been incorporating into my own routine over the past week or so, and I hope it feels as good in your body as it does in mine. All you might need for today's practice is a blanket and a strap. Just have them nearby in case you need them for support. Go ahead and pause this video, get cozy, set up your space, and I'll meet you all right back here on your mats. Okay, my friends, we are going to begin on our backs today. So moving your props, if you brought any with you, just off to the side where you can easily reach them. Go ahead and find your way onto your bum and then slowly work your way onto your back. So just mindfully making your way down. Once you get there, take the feet wide. So bringing them out to the edges of the mat and allow the knees to fall in towards one another. You can stretch the arms out long, maybe bring them on your chest or your belly for a moment. And just begin to settle into your space. If this is the first time that you've had today to consciously connect to your body and your breath, take a moment to observe what that feels like. Observe any sensations in your physical body. Maybe taking a scan from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes and everywhere in between. And then just start to follow your breath in and out of the body. And just take a moment to appreciate the quality of your breath. And as you start to become more aware of it, connect to a pattern of breath that feels good in your body, that you can maintain throughout this practice. Maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. For me, I love to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can also breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And whatever pattern of breath you find, just find an equal inhale and equal exhale, something that you can carry with you throughout this practice. Something that can anchor you. If you have any intention that you would like to set, maybe you want to dedicate today's practice to someone, and go ahead and take a moment to do that now. Maybe your goal for this practice today was simply showing up. And look at you now. You have arrived and you are here. You've already done the hardest part. If you shut down the eyes, go ahead and blink them open. Wiggle the feet back into about hip distance apart. Allow the left leg to go out long, and then go ahead and take your strap. Bend that right knee in towards your chest. Loop the strap around the base of the foot. And then slowly start to straighten that right leg up towards the sky. Now, if you're super stiff in the back of the right leg, it might feel good to bend back into the left knee. This is going to just kind of modify the stretch a little bit. So you have the option of keeping that left knee bent or lengthening the left leg out long. You can bend into that right knee as much as you need to. So today's class is very gentle. We're not trying to work into the deepest part of the stretch. We just want to feel some sensation in the back of the leg. No pain. Whether you're holding onto your strap or maybe you prefer to hold on to the back of your leg. Maybe you have the flexibility to bring your fingers to your big toes, Wherever you're at, try to keep your upper body relaxed down on the ground. So no tension in the shoulders, the upper back, the neck. Really connect with your breath here. Send your exhales. Just imagine that you can send your exhales wherever you like, that you can direct your exhales into those spaces of tightness, of discomfort. On every exhale, your body lets a little sigh of release. Your body becomes a little bit softer. Your body welcomes a stretch a little bit more. Stay relaxed through the forehead and the face. Relax through the upper body. If the mind wanders at all, just bring it back to those sensations in your physical body. Back to your inhales and exhales. Slowly, slowly, hold the strap or your foot wherever you're at with your right hand. Bring your left palm down to your left hip and just kind of reinforce that your left hip is staying grounded into the mat. Slowly start to bring your right foot over towards the right side and just inching your way there. Maybe you just stop a few inches over. Maybe you have the mobility to bring your right leg almost all the way down to the ground. Wherever you're at is where you're meant to be, so have some grace with yourself in your yoga journey. Don't push yourself too far, too fast. And remember, the whole goal of today's practice is a very gentle class. Sometimes I even like to prop my elbow on the ground here and use my right hand to just catch my right leg. So really just find what feels good in your body. There's no perfect or right way to do this pose. And what feels good for me might not feel good for you. So wiggle around until you find something that feels best in your body. On your next in-breath, begin to draw that right foot back up towards the sky. Go ahead and bend into the left knee. You can remove your strap off the foot if you are using one. Cross your right ankle over top of your left knee, finding this figure 4 position. And just take a moment here. Maybe you can already start to feel that stretch in the outer right hip. Maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you stay here. When I'm finding this pose initially, I love to rock my hips left to right. Just kind of feeling how that changes up the sensation of this stretch. And then taking it front to back, begin to pull that left knee in towards you, bringing the left foot off the ground, and then rock it back down to the floor. Good, inhale. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Keep pushing that right knee away from you. Exhale to release. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And remember, all of these movements are what feels good in your body. So if stillness feels better, you don't need to move the legs. And then maybe you pull that left knee in and keep it there. You can loop the hands behind the left thigh, pressing the right knee away from you as you draw the left knee in. And this is going to intensify the stretch on that outer right hip. Tune back into the breath. Find those equal inhales and exhales. Allow those exhales to soften the body, to creep into those spaces that are trying to hold on to that tightness, trying to resist the stretch. On your next exhale, slowly release the left foot down to the ground if it's not already there. Bring your arms out to your side, and then we're gonna move into a twist from this figure four. Big inhale. As you exhale, send that right foot over to the left, bringing it all the way down to the ground. Now, if this feels funky in your right knee at all, you're gonna unhook that right foot and just bring yourself down into an easy twist, all right? So find what feels best in your body. I really love this figure four twist. It just kind of adds a little bit of a different dynamic to this stretch. Breathe into the side body. Imagine your ribs like an accordion. Every time you inhale, they're spreading apart. You're sending your breath into those spaces in between your ribs. Every exhale, you're emptying and softening. On your next in breath, gently draw the knees back up, coming onto your back. This time crossing right knee over left. Pull the knees in towards your chest, and then reach down and see if you can grab for your heels or the outer edges of your feet. If this doesn't feel good, you can always reach around and just place your hands on top of your knees. But coming into this cow facing pose with your legs. Again, really getting into the hips here. I love this variation of this stretch because it can be done on your back. And sometimes it feels like a much more gentle way of achieving this pose. Find those equal inhales and exhales. If the mind ever starts to wander, just gently guiding it back to the breath, back to the sensations in your body. As you exhale, slowly release. Allow the legs to return to the ground, uncrossing them. And then heel toe the feet out towards the edges of the mat. Drop the knees over to the right. Drop the knees over to the left. Over to the right. Over to the left. Just kind of neutralizing the spine and the hips for a moment. Bring the knees back up and center. Extend that right foot out long. Grab your strap. Pull the left knee in towards the chest, and then loop that strap around your left foot if you're using one. And again, this is where you have the option to lengthen that right leg or keep the right knee bent if you want to modify the stretch a little bit. So this is going to make the intensity in the left leg less if you bend into that right knee. You can also take a little bend into the left knee, so don't feel like your left leg has to be stick straight. Bend into that left knee as much as you need to. Allow the upper body to relax here. So head, neck, shoulders, upper back. Stay relaxed on the floor and just start to find that gentle stretch in the back of the left leg. And this is where you might start to really notice size in the body. One side might be much tighter. One side might be much more open. So just keeping that in mind as you move through these stretches, adjusting as you need to, and recognizing that it may look a little bit different than the other side. Use those exhales to soften into your body. Soften into those spaces that are still resisting. Maybe on some of your exhales you find that you can deepen into this stretch just a little bit. So finding your edge and knowing where that edge is, not moving too far, too fast. Begin to grab onto your left foot or your strap with your left hand. Bring your right hand and place it on top of your hip bone. So kind of just anchoring yourself down into the ground. As you exhale, allow that left leg to kind of fall out to the left side. And again, this can be a few inches. This can be all the way down to the ground. If you want, you can even bring your left elbow down onto the ground. Use your left palm to support your leg and just kind of hold it here. I really love this option sometimes because it's a way to intrinsically support your own body without any props or external things. Keep anchoring that right hip down into the ground. Softening through your jaw and your forehead. Breathing into those spaces of tightness. On your next in-breath, gently pull that left foot back up to the sky. Bend into that right knee if it's not already there. Remove the strap from the left foot if you were using one. And then find that figure four. So cross the left ankle just above the right knee. And we're all just going to start with the right foot on the ground. Maybe you're already feeling some sensations in that outer left hip. So just kind of take a moment to observe your body here. Maybe you start to rock the hips side to side, finding a little bit of movement, exploring what that feels like. And then begin to rock the hips front to back. So lifting the right foot off the ground, pull the right knee in towards your chest as you push the left knee actively away from you. And then exhale, release that right foot down. Good, inhale, right knee pulls in towards the chest as much as you can. So we're not using our hands here yet or anything. Exhale, release. Just kind of finding some active mobility in our body. Inhale. Exhale. Good, inhale. Exhale. So you can keep finding that movement, or you can always lace your hands behind your right thigh, just kind of assisting that pull of the right knee in towards your chest, and then actively press the left knee away from you. This is really, really going to fire up that stretch in the outer left hip. Check in with your forehead and your jaw, make sure they're soft. Check in with your breath, find those equal inhales and exhales. And utilize those exhales to encourage the body to soften, to encourage your muscles to release and let go. On your next exhale, release that right foot down to the ground if it's not already there. Bring the arms out into a T shape. Big inhale. And as you exhale, send that left foot down towards the ground, keeping it in that figure 4 shape. And again, if this feels wonky on that left knee at all, you're simply going to unhook that left foot, stack your left knee on top of your right, and find yourself in an easy twist. So either option, whatever feels best in your body. Either way, you should be feeling a really big, beautiful stretch along the left side of the body. The mind wanders at all, remind it of your intention for this practice. If you didn't set an intention, then bring it back to your breath, following your inhales and exhales in and out of the body. Inhale. Begin to draw your knees back up to center, rolling onto your back. Cross that left knee on top of the right, almost like a shoelace, and then pull the knees in towards your chest. And again, you can reach the hands on top of your knees here, or you can reach down for your heels or the outer edges of your foot. Make sure that that upper body, your head, neck, shoulders are relaxed. So you're not lifting yourself off the ground. Just really concentrating on this stretch being in the low body, the hips. On your next exhale, release and unwind. Bring the feet down to the edges of your yoga mat or outside of hip distance. And then one more time, windshield wiper those legs. So gently dropping the knees over to the right, over to the left. One more time each side. And then find your way rolling over onto your side. So easy getting there, slow moving. And then gently press yourself up. And we'll find our way into tabletop pose. Once you get there, bring the knees out nice and wide. Allow the big toes to touch. Press it back for a moment in child's pose. This can be a really beautiful place to utilize your blanket. If you have one, you can place it in between your heels and your bum for a little bit of extra support. Allow the arms to melt out in front of you. Bring the forehead down to the ground. Take a slight bend in the elbows to relax the shoulders. Allow the hips to become heavy, the spine to be long, the chest melting down towards the ground. On your next in-breath, gently lift the head up, walk the hands over towards the right. Allow the left hand to extend a little bit further than the right, maybe even stacking it on top of your right hand. And then bringing your forehead to rest down on the ground again, maybe your cheek. Feeling a nice big beautiful stretch through the left side of the body. Keep anchoring that left hip down into the ground. Inhale, gently lift the head up, walk the hands over to the left, this time allowing the right hand to reach a little bit further than the left or stacking that right palm on top of the left. And then melting the chest and the head back down towards the ground, really rooting yourself down into your right hip, feeling a big beautiful stretch along the right side of the body. Inhale, lift the head up. Walk the hands back to center and go ahead and pull yourself back up onto hands and knees. You can remove the blanket if you used one, and then draw the knees back under the hips, shoulders stack over the wrists. Bring the right hand behind your head, elbow out to the side. As you inhale, reach the right elbow up to the sky, so really twisting from the mid-back. As you exhale, bring that right elbow over to touch or kiss your left arm. So rounding through the back, finding space between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, reach back up. Good. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Finding some space in the thoracic spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Beautiful job, my friends. 3 more times at your own pace. On your last one, extend the right arm all the way up to the sky. And then as you exhale, this time we're going to thread the needle, bringing that right arm underneath the left, tapping the right shoulder down to the ground, or just working in that general direction. And then inhale, press back up and reach. Good. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, reach. Beautiful. 3 more times, my friends. Exhale. Inhale. Last time. Bring it back to tabletop. Ground down into that right hand. Left palm comes behind the head, left elbow out to the side. Same thing. Inhale, reach that left elbow up to the sky. As you exhale, round through the thoracic spine, left elbow taps right arm, and then inhale, reach back up. Good, exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. 3 more times at your own pace. On your third time through, extend that left arm all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, thread the needle, so left arm under right, try to bring that left shoulder down towards the ground or just work it in that general direction. And then inhale, reach back up to the sky. Good, exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, reach. 3 more times at your own pace. Move with your breath here. Beautiful job, my friends. Once you've finished, no rush. Bring both palms down to the ground. Keeping the hips stacked over your knees, gaze forward, begin to crawl the hands forward, so finding puppy pose. Start to melt the chest and the heart down towards the ground. And you can rest your forehead or your cheek on the mat once you get there, but allow the heart to melt and start to feel a big, beautiful opening through the front of the shoulders. If you want to find some openness in your throat, you can even try to gaze forward. Maybe bringing your chin down to your mat. Just make sure when you do this that there's no tension in the back of the neck, that you're not forcing anything. Finding what feels best in your body. On your next in-breath, begin to pull yourself forward onto your forearms, so keeping the elbows down, and then slide the legs back as you bring your hips and your thighs and your belly down to the ground. So finding your way into Sphinx pose, press into the tops of the feet, stack the elbows underneath the shoulder, spread the fingers wide, and then actively pull the elbows back towards your body as you pull your heart through your upper arms. So finding this big, beautiful stretch through the front of the body, opening up the shoulders, the heart space. Maybe finding a little bit, just a little bit of heat in the shoulders. As you gaze out in front of you, reconnect with your breath. Find those equal inhales and exhales. Observe the sensations in your body. Exhale As you release yourself down to the ground, draw your hands back towards your chest. So fingertips just outside of your chest or in line with your nipples. Bring your forehead down to the ground. Press into the tops of your feet. See if you can hover your hands just above your mat. And then slowly start to pull yourself up, baby cobra. So squeezing the glutes, activating the upper back, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. And then exhale, release, hands and forehead back down to the ground. Inhale, hover the hands, lift the forehead. Baby cobra, press down into the tops of the feet, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release. One more time, hover the hands, inhale, lift. Baby cobra. Exhale, release. This time, ground down into the palms, squeeze the elbows in towards the side of your body as you inhale. Lift up, pressing down through the tops of the feet. Maybe you find a traditional cobra. So find what feels best in your body. If there's any stickiness in the low back, bring it down a few notches. You can widen your stance in the legs. Squeeze the elbows in towards your side body. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Soften the forehead and the face. Exhale, release. Inhale, tuck the toes. Press up gently onto your hands and knees. As you exhale, keep the knees bent. Press back, downward facing dog. Pressing up and out of the hands, up and out of the shoulders. Every exhale, see if you can work your heels down towards the ground. So even if they're not touching, just moving them in that general direction. Reconnect with your breath here. On your next in-breath, shift the gaze forward. As you exhale, take some really slow steps. So almost like a nice slow walk up towards the top of your mat until your feet come right behind your hands, bending into the knees as much as you need to. Once you get there, release the neck, release the crown of the head down towards the ground, fold forward. As you inhale, rise all the way up, so standing up, sweeping the arms overhead to grow tall and long. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, start to fold back down towards the ground. Again, bending into the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to the ground or maybe your shins, but find a nice long spine. So cultivate that long line of energy from the tailbone all the way out the crown of the head. As you exhale, hands back down to the ground, bend into the knees as much as you need to. Step one foot back and then the other. Lower the knees and then lower all the way down to your belly. Press down into the tops of the feet. Inhale, draw yourself up. Find your cobra pose. Elbows squeeze into the side body. Create some space between the shoulders and the ears. Exhale, release. Inhale, tuck the toes, press up onto hands and knees. Exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. Every exhale, working those heels down towards the ground. Bending into the knees as much as you need to. Strongly press up and out of the shoulders. Inhale, shift the gaze in between the hands. As you exhale, slowly, slowly walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Sweep the arms overhead, grow tall. As you exhale, ride that wave all the way back down to the ground, hinging at the hips. Fold forward. Crown of the head hangs heavy once you get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the ground or your shins. Exhale, bend into the knees. Hands plant on your mat. Step one foot back and then the other. Gently drop to the knees and then lower all the way to your belly. Press the tops of the feet into the ground as you inhale, gently rise up. Find your cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, tuck the toes, press up onto the hands and knees. Exhale, rock it back, downward facing dog. Maybe you find stillness in your down dog. Maybe you pedal the feet, bending into one knee and then the other. Inhale, shift the gaze in between the hands. Exhale, walk or maybe take a step up towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, finding that length in the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, grow tall, reach your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, ride that wave down, bending into the knees as you go. Head hangs heavy once you get there. Inhale, halfway lift, finding length. Exhale, hands to the ground, step one foot back and then the other. Drop to the knees, lower to the belly. Press the tops of the feet into the ground. Inhale, press up, cobra pose. Creating space between the shoulders and the ears. Creating strength in the upper back, opening up the front of the body. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes. Inhale, press up, hands and knees. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift the gaze in between the hands. Exhale, this time lower the knees down towards the mat. Cross your ankles behind you and roll over into an easy seat. I want you to just take a moment in this easy seat. Close down the eyes. Bring the palms of the hands face down on the knees. And let go of the pattern of breath that you cultivated throughout this practice. Let go of intentions. Let go of it all and allow yourself to just be and simply observe. Maybe you close down the eyes. Maybe you focus your gaze on something. But take a moment for your body to marinate in this practice, to simply be, allowing your breath to come and go as it may, allowing your thoughts to just drift by, not latching onto them, but allowing them to just come and go as they please. And take a moment to just sit with yourself. Slowly, slowly begin to pull your chin in towards your chest. Maybe feeling a juicy little stretch along the back of the neck, the length of the spine. Gently blink the eyes open and allow yourself to slowly come back into your physical space. My friends, thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. I hope that you are feeling whatever you need to be feeling right now. Until next time, from my heart to yours.